from prudential requirements. And the problem was with the FSA that it didn't use the powers that it had, and it wasn't coordinated properly with the Treasury and with the Bank of England.
Now, Una, so you mentioned maybe some of the problems there. I think one of the things, the more cynical of us might say, is that one of the things we learn from market history is that we don't really learn from market history. Do you think we are better prepared now for a crisis following the Lehman's?
In some respects, yes, and in other respects, no. The next financial crisis won't be exactly like the financial crisis of 2008. It will be different. Some of the solutions are just not sensible as far as I'm concerned. The notion that you should separate investment banking, which politicians love to call casino banking, from retail banking is just not a sensible one. It wasn't the cause of the crisis in the first place. If you think of the major trigger, you've talked about Lehman Brothers, and I wrote about Lehman Brothers. These were standalone investment banks. They weren't taking deposits, and they weren't misusing depositors' money to speculate.
Final thought, are we heading towards another property bubble, do you think? I mean, you chaired a public inquiry into property valuation. Do you worry, particularly in the southeast of England, particularly in London, that property prices are just spiralling crazily?
Yes, I do. But you know, the chronic housing shortage that we've created in the UK has been going on for years. We underbuild by about 100,000 units of accommodation per year. So there's a real shortage of housing that people want, and in the right location. That is where the jobs are. And I think that that is the fundamental cause of the rise in property prices in the UK.
Well, look, thank you very much for joining us. That's Una MacDonald. The book is called Lehman Brothers, A Crisis of Value, and it is out now. Thank you all very much for your company over the course of this morning and for your book suggestions. That's it from Wake Up to Money. Breakfast is next.
Adam, thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday morning and the time is exactly 6 o'clock.
On digital, online, smartphone and tablet. This is BBC 5 Live.
This is 5 Live Breakfast with Rachel Bird, and our top news story. Intelligence sources tell the BBC the suspect in the latest propaganda video from the Islamic State group is a British man who jumped bail.
Good morning in sport. David Beckham backs ZZ for the top after Benitez gets the chop.
And Simon's back with the weather for us.
Yeah, good morning. More rain is expected in eastern Scotland today, where the risk of flooding continues. Rain too in northeast England could cause some problems. Otherwise, it's a cloudy day with scattered showers.
More from Adam with the money news.
Yeah, markets in Asia have stabilised overnight following a really dramatic plunge on the leading Chinese index yesterday. That triggered falls on stock markets all around the world. I'll have the details.
And when Nikki joins us after 6:30, we'll find out about plans to tighten gun laws in the United States and the row over Tunnocks tea cakes. Are they Scottish or British?
This is BBC 5 Live.
It's believed a masked jihadist who fronts the latest Islamic State group propaganda video is a Muslim convert from East London. Siddhartha Dar was arrested in 2014 but jumped bail and fled to Syria. Jane Setter is a professor of phonetics at the University of Reading.
When he pronounces certain words, you can see his jaw move, also his body language. He's making certain movements when he stresses syllables, for example, he moves. So it looks to me that it's not the case that the voice has been dubbed on. It does look like it's the speaker speaking live, but again, you'd have to do more detailed analysis to be absolutely sure that that was the case.
Jeremy Corbyn is expected to announce tweaks to his shadow cabinet today. There's been speculation the Labour leader wants to remove front benchers who disagree with him on policy. The government's called in ACAS to try to stop a series of strikes by junior doctors in England. They're due to walk out initially for 24 hours next Tuesday in a row over new contracts. The Health Secretary, Jeremy Hunt, says it's disappointing.
We had 16 areas of disagreement, and we think we found a solution on 15 of the 16. The one area that wasn't resolved was pay for unsocial hours, which we were prepared to negotiate on. But instead of negotiating, the BMA have chosen to walk out of the talks and call industrial action.
Scotland Yard murder detectives are investigating the disappearance of a former EastEnders actress and her 2 young children. Sian Blake hasn't been seen for almost 3 weeks. The children's father is also missing. The Rochdale MP, Simon Danchuk, says a rape claim he's facing is malicious, untrue and upsetting.